I'm Megan Cook, and this is my literacy narrative, my journey through a learning disability. Growing up, I was always aware that something wasn't right when it came to learning. From the fourth grade, I was never able to put my finger on what it was. I would grow more and more frustrated by not understanding concepts and struggling with every subject. It wasn't until one day, when I was sitting on the rug for my reading class, that I heard my name being called to the announcer. Megan Cook, please report to the principal's office. Every time I heard my name, I knew I was being checked out for something and was ecstatic. Doctor's appointment or dentist, I didn't care. All I knew is that I was removed from all the books and learning that frustrated me. Sure enough, when I arrived, my mom and dad were both standing to release me from my own version of prison. Once leaving the school, I began to realize I was going to a place I was not familiar with. Walking through the doors, I vividly remember being overjoyed by seeing toys and, most of all, the indoor swing. My parents began to talk to the workers at this unfamiliar place while I began to play with the new toys. The next thing I knew, I looked up, and standing in front of me was one of the workers I previously saw talking to my parents. Looking over, I could see my parents were both gone. After being infatuated with both the toy trucks I was previously playing with, I became oblivious to their location. To my delight, the lady asked if I wanted to go to the indoor tire swing. Anxiously waiting to go for my arrival, I happily said yes. More workers soon joined us, and I became more and more comfortable. The next thing I knew, I was off the swing and doing some strange testing games, playing games like Where's Waldo and riding scooters and reading tests. Later, I would find out these were not games but rather assessments. As the day went on, I would find out this was not going to be the first or last test I was taking. The following week, I heard my name being called to the announcer yet again. I was bubbling with excitement and anticipation to revisit the strange but fun place from the previous week. However, the excitement quickly vanished when I soon realized this was not the same place, rather a totally opposite place, looking much more like a doctor's office. I was called into the room upstairs with a desk looking professional instead of the fun test like last time. This was more like schoolwork. I was told to read and answer questions and solve problems. However, at the end of the visit, I was awarded from a prize box, which satisfied me. It wasn't until a couple weeks after my last visit I was called to the principal's office for one last time. This time, I learned I was not being checked out, but being called to a meeting. I saw some familiar faces of teachers and some faces that I had never seen before but would soon be well acquainted with. In this meeting, I learned all those tests were to see if I had a learning disability. I learned I had been diagnosed with dyslexia and dysgraphia. I didn't fully understand what this meant at the time, but I felt a sense of relief that there was a reason behind my difficulty in school. In the meeting, I learned I would be receiving help through my school and would get accommodations. These accommodations would get me through my elementary years until high school years. In a matter of a meeting, my education experience drastically changed. Each day, I was pulled out of class to work on a skill that would help better me in the future. These classes would soon be my favorite. I was not alone in these classrooms either. The students in the class all shared the fact that they struggled in school. By understanding my disability, I was able to prepare and figure out ways to adapt. I still use some of these skills I learned in that class today. Even though dyslexia and dysgraphia never go away, I found a way to make learning easier. In elementary school, I thought it would be impossible to receive straight A's. It wasn't until my time in high school that I realized the work I put in my earlier years of education paid off. Over time, I have gained a much better relationship with school. No longer do I feel frustrated and confused at my inability of understanding materials. I want to give credits to my parents and the workers who I don't know the names of. And that's my literacy story.